to the outskirts of Hobart, where one can smell the fresh country air, and life gradually moved at a much slower pace. Plenty of farm-stay cottages and bed and breakfast options can be found in the area. Out here, you are reminded of going back to the basics and living off the land, just as the first settlers once did.
I'm sure if I lived here, I'd have a horse, that's for sure. Okay, here I go. I had a chestnut horse myself before, called Sanden. It's so nice to be walking out here in the field, in the countryside, playing with horses. Look at this field, it has different colors, yellow, red, green. And just behind me is a lagoon. I'm sure there are a lot of interesting animals and birds out there. I would go there for a walk.
A short, enjoyable hike leads me to a sandy beach. Too bad, the weather in Tasmania is colder than the rest of Australia. Otherwise, the sand and the waves look very inviting for a quick swim.
The different vegetation, the lagoon, the mountains, makes me feel like I really am in Tasmania. This is something I'll really miss.
The simple, quiet life and the cool Tasmanian weather, paired with a good bottle of red, is all you really need. Because sometimes, the best adventures come in the form of great escapes. Other than its farmhouses, many heritage properties can also be found in Tasmania. Its colonial history is well preserved today in its many buildings restored for different uses. One such historic building is Claremont House. For the first century of its life, this Georgian mansion on top of a hill was home to rich merchants, politicians, and sports celebrities. Today, it is restored as a boutique hotel run by Joel Van Sanden, who also happens to be a pilot.
So these are the original rooms of the house. So they were built in 1830. So the original sitting room and drawing rooms of the house, they were built by a man named Henry Bilton. He came out here to Van Diemen's Land from Leicester in England. And he came out here, took over 93 acres, and he built just a simple 4-room Georgian house.
Joel's passion for restoring old things is evident as he showed me around the house. He has spent 10 years reviving the property after it was already set to be demolished by the government. Now, he has breathed life into every room, and each corner really takes you back in time.
I'm just wondering how you got into I know you're flying, I know you're just like me, enjoying the flying and everything.
Yes.
But how did you get into this?
I fell in love with old properties. My sister and I were raised by my grandmother. She raised us essentially to respect everything that was made during her time. She always talked about the old times. So I grew up with a passion and great respect for old things.
He shares that one part of loving old things is appreciating the history that came with it. And he was very candid about the mansion's colorful history.
Yes, the house is haunted as well. Because during the hospital there was 2,000 soldiers that were patients here between 1941 and 1947. And a lot of patients unfortunately did die here at the house.
Don't worry, I'm brave.
Excellent.
Not to worry about that.
Well, if you're brave, did you want to go upstairs and see the top of the tower?
Well, I would love to. Shall we go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So this is the tower, huh?
This is the tower, or the Widow's Walk, where we are standing. Now,
why Widow's Walk?
It was named the Widow's Walk because the wives of seamen, and the wives would climb up here and watch and wait for their husbands to return from sea voyage. And a lot of them obviously didn't return. A lot of the ships were damaged at sea by storm. So essentially the wife of the time would come up and walk and watch and look out to sea and watch for her husband to return from sea voyage.
you've got so much history, so much heritage in this area.
Absolutely.
You're really very lucky.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that work.
Thank you very much.
And being a pilot too.
Excellent. Thank you.
It was always a good feeling meeting people who did things with such great passion. And I was glad to be able to experience a bit of Tasmania's history. Up next, I get ready to tough it out and cross Tasmania's ancient mountains and rough seas for some of the most exciting experiences in the wild.